Yeah. That motion's carried unanimously. That being, we'll move on to item 3, disclosures of interest. None being, move on to item 4.
Just wanted to make a point. Agenda item number 4, 80 Millennium Drive. I am the owner of 80 Millennium Drive, Big Rock Plaza. There is an existing lease in place, so this has no conflict towards me for any benefit on this motion. It's not extending his lease or lessening his lease, so I just want to make sure everybody was aware of that.
Okay, thank you, Mark. Perfect. We'll move on to item 4, approval of previous minutes. Any adjustment to the minutes? None being, can I motion to approve? Mark?
So moved.
Seconder on that?
Second.
Brent, thank you. Can we vote on that, please? That being, motion's carried unanimously. Now we'll move on to item 5, business arising from previous minutes. Can I have a motion to receive and file? Brenda? Oh,
So moved.
Brent?
Oh, Brenda or Brent?
Brent moved it. Brenda, want to second it?
Sure.
All right, thank you. Can we have a vote on that? That motion's carried unanimously. With that, we'll move on to item 6, unfinished business. None being, we'll move on to item 7, new business. Item 7A, 23 Meadowlark Drive. Could the applicant please come up to the podium and state their name for the record? And Jennifer will introduce us to that.
My name's Aaron Hennessy.
Aaron Hennessy?
Yes.
Okay. Aaron, we're going to have Jennifer introduce that to us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Through you is an application to approve a small square meter variance to an accessory building as well as a very small height variance. And the applicant's also seeking approval for a second driveway. This accessory building and driveway are both in existence, just to be clear. It came to our attention, the town, we sent a letter to the landowner who responded immediately and wanted to make sure that he was bringing the property into compliance with the zoning bylaws, worked with us very, very well. The subject lot is located in R1 zone. It has 2,075 square meters of land. It's supported by an on-site well and municipal sewer service. Section 8G2A of zoning bylaw number 38 states that an accessory building used other than as a detached garage shall not have a height exceeding 3.65 meters. The building height of the existing accessory building is 4.1 meters, therefore there's a requirement for a variance of 0.45 meters. The bylaw of the same section, 8G2C, however, does permit a gross floor area of 23 square meters. The existing structure has a floor area of 27.8 square meters. Therefore, a 4.8 square meter variance is required to that section. In addition, there is a second driveway, as I explained earlier. The bylaw states that the number of driveways shall be limited to not more than one driveway for each 30 meters of frontage, and no more than 2 driveways are permitted for frontages over 30 meters unless deemed by the Planning Advisory Committee to be in interest of public safety. However, the property has a reduced frontage. It's 27.7 meters. So it doesn't meet the 30-meter frontage, so a variance to that section would also be required to allow that driveway to remain in place. Just want to add that it is a paved driveway. It's well maintained, and staff don't have any concerns with it. We did send out notification letters to properties within 100 meters, and at the time of the writing of the report and up to today in the beginning of this meeting, no concerns have been received, and I'm available to answer any questions the PAC might have.
Thank you, Jennifer. Mr. Hennessy, you would receive the same package we did in the mail. Anything you'd like to add or discuss prior to questions from PAC or members of the public? Okay. Thank you. Any members of PAC have any questions for the applicant? Mr. Hatfield.
Just on the driveway, was that driveway there prior to you purchasing the house, or was it something that you put in?
It was there before I moved in.
Okay.
The house was turnkey 2 driveways were there before I moved in.
Thank you, Mark. Any other questions for the applicant? Brenda?
Did you build the storage shed or was it delivered?
I built it.
You've built it, so it was under construction without a building permit.
That's right.
So
My
I
apologies.
feel, there's some leeway, people get storage sheds and put them in the lot, but you knew your building, so, yeah.
I was,
Yeah.
I
yeah.
apologize.
And that's things I have a problem with because it's not in a bad place, don't get me wrong. But I have a problem, it seems to be people building things and then getting approval, which is basically, I guess you get doubled your building permit fine. Maybe they have to be big fine, so people will check with the town before they start building anything.
I was just unaware because it was on a movable, it was on 6x6s, so it's movable. So I had figured at the time that I didn't need a permit because there's other people who do
Yes,
drop
but you
the
built
shed.
it.
So, but I was wrong, and I apologize. I should have done it the
All right,
proper way from the
thanks.
beginning.
Thanks.
Thank you, Brenda. Any other questions for the applicant from members of PAC? None being, is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Third and final time. Anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? None being, when a member of PAC had to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions. Mr. Hatfield.
I'll put a motion for that the PAC approves 0.05 or decimal 45 accessory building height variance for the section 8G2A and a 4.8 square meter gross floor area variance for section 8G2C and approve a variance for the section 6P6, all from zoning bylaw number 38 to permit an accessory building not used as a detached garage with a building height of 4.1 meters and having a gross floor area of 27.8 square meters, and approve a second driveway on the lot having a frontage less than 30 meters at 23 Meadowlark Drive, PID 30356612, subject to the following terms and conditions. One, a development permit application is submitted to the town for existing accessory structure and existing driveway. The exterior of the accessory building is to be cladded, recognized by a National Building Code of Canada current adoption edition, and the building shall not be used as a dwelling unit for a business or for keeping livestock.
Thank you, Mr. Hatfield. Can I have a seconder on that, please?
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Mr. Preston, any debate on that motion? None being, can we have a vote, please? That motion's carried unanimously. Next 5 to 7 business days, you have a letter in the mail, so please work with the town to have all necessary documentation and permitting in place, and best of luck. You're welcome.
Take care, everybody.
Next, we'll move on to item 7B, 221 Hampton Road. Could the applicant please come up and state their name for the record, please? Oh, Dino, go ahead. Can you hear us? Just hang on, Dino. Huh?
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we just recognize Gino's being present online, but due to technical difficulties, cannot represent himself.
Do what now? Sorry, make a motion what?
I make a motion that we recognize that Dino, the applicant, is online, but due to technical difficulties, cannot present his.
Okay. Gonna defer it to a later date? Okay,
Just need a second to what I motioned.
okay, we can go ahead. We're gonna keep going. Okay. With that being, go ahead, Jennifer, introduce that item.
Oh, Pat.
When do you want a second? Thank you, Mr. Hatfield. We vote just to have that.
It won't be a vote, it's a verbal vote.
Yeah.
All in favor, just say
Then we'll move on with the presentation from Jennifer. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and I apologize to everyone for the technical difficulties that we're having this evening. Dino, we're gonna go forward even though we can't really hear you, but you're here present, so we're gonna go forward. Before you is an application to permit a temporary use at 221 Hampton Road, that of a food truck, to provide food options to the patrons of Valley Sands Gaming Center on Friday evenings from 4 until 10. That is the proposed time frame. The applicants indicated that if Friday night goes well, they may like to include Saturday night, so my motion does include both nights, so they don't have to return if Saturday does become a thing. The section 3B1 of zoning bylaw 38 does provide the PAC with authority to approve a temporary use not exceeding 1 year. The recommendation here is to do this under the temporary approval. If it goes well and the landowner decides to do this on a more permanent basis, we can bring it forward under section 3D1. And with the new zoning bylaw coming down the pipe, hopefully by then, there may also be provisions for food trucks, so who knows? So we'll leave it at that. So the food truck that is being proposed does not have combustible fuels on site. The energy that it will use to operate its fryers, etc., is an electric generator. Because of that, this was not sent off to the fire department for review. And will only be permitted as to be used as a non-combustible. The only permitted use would be the non-combustible electric generator for the power source, and that is the condition, term and condition that's proposed by staff. We did send out letters to neighboring properties within 100 meters. No concerns have been received regarding this, and I'm available to answer questions if you'd like. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. I got a question. I think maybe Brent, go ahead, Brent. I'll let you ask that question.
Jennifer, I'm just looking for clarification on the generator, or the electrical source, I guess. Is it a generator it's using? Because I've never heard of it. Any generator, most generators are portable and they use either propane or diesel fuel as a fuel source. Maybe we can just send a Teams message to Mr.
I did Google it because I had the same concerns, but I actually used to have one of these at my cottage, a little electric generator. You would charge it up, or you could plug it into an AC, and then you could have other power sources run off of it. So, but we could actually ask for clarification from the applicant.
Yeah, can we ask that? 'Cause I'm a little. Did they mean that the combustible source was propane for cooking or fuel source to run the generator?
When the application was submitted, Mr. Sapolo told me there was no combustible fuels, no propane, no gasoline that would be on site, that the food truck received its power to operate through an electric generator.
So how do we ask them that?
So,
Send a message to
I will try. This one. Dino. Mm-hmm. That's why I put it under the terms and conditions that no combustible fuels
item
were
1.
permitted.
Which covers it. So I think we're good. Brent, item 1. We'll keep going.
Okay,
Yep,
so I'm really sorry about tonight's issues.
we'll have to make sure.
But I did make sure that as you said, was condition number 1,
Yep.
because I thought that was very
Perfect.
important to point out.
Okay.
But I will sign off, and if you have any questions, I'll.
Perfect. Anyone have any other questions for Jennifer or applicant? Anyone online or in the audience have willing to make a for or against? Anyone in the audience or online want to come up and speak for or against this item? Third and final time. Anyone in the audience willing to come up and speak for or against this item? That being, member of PAC to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions. Brent?
I make the motion, the Planning Advisory Committee approve a temporary use of a food truck under section 3B1 of zoning bylaw 038 for a period of 1 year at 221 Hampton Road, PIDs 251736 and 62430, subject to the following terms and conditions. 1, the food truck will only be permitted to use a non-combustible portable generator to provide the power source for the preparation of food items for sale to the public while on the subject lot. A combustible source of energy for the preparation of food is strictly prohibited without further approvals from the PAC and review by the Kennebecasis Valley Fire Department. 2, the hours of operation are Friday and Saturdays between 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. exclusively. An increase to these approved hours will require further consideration and approval of the PAC. 3, the operation of the food truck will not occupy any barrier-free parking stalls located in the subject lot. 4, a development permit is issued to the landowner for the operation of the food truck prior to any food truck sales on the subject lot. 5, the food truck operator shall be in the possession of a food premises license issued by the province of New Brunswick, a copy which is to be provided to the town prior to the issuance of a development permit to permit food truck use on the subject lot. Dr. Seuss. Any signage used, 6, any signage used to advertise the food truck will require a signed development permit, and any will need to comply with the provisions of the sign bylaw number 036, with the exception of a sandwich board, food truck sandwich board, or menu board.
Jennifer, you have any items you want to talk about? No.
I just wanted to make a correction to number 4, because it sounds like we're selling food trucks.
Okay.
So if we could just have it written to a development permit is issued to the landowner for the operation of the food truck prior to sales by the food truck on the subject lot.
Okay.
Sorry, can you,
Can you say that again, Jennifer? Item 4?
Development permit is issued to the landowner for the operation of the food truck prior to any sales on the subject lot.
Yeah. Any sales?
Yeah.
Take off food, yeah.
any sales, okay.
Thank you. Can I have a second on it? Mr. Hatfield?
Second.
Thank you. Any debate on the motion? Can we have a vote, please?
In the end, you get those changes to number 6.
That motion's carried unanimously. Mr. Capola, you'll have a letter in the mail in 5 to 7 business days with your approval. Please have all necessary documentation and in place with the town, so Jennifer can email them if she can. He knows.
You don't get it.
It's all approved.
Should have told me when the patio around it.
Thank you very much, he said.
All right, with that being, we'll move on to 526 Condola Point Road. Applicant, please come up and state your name for the record. Thanks for everyone bearing with us for the technical difficulties.
Cynthia Jodry, 526 Gondola Point Road.
Okay. Jennifer's going to introduce that item for us.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. And before you is an application for a home occupation at 526 Gondola Road, that of a nail technician, Hand Candy Designs. I always say Handy Candy. I don't know why, but it's a catchy name. To accommodate one nail technician. Clients will be seen by appointment only. The hours of operation will be kind of loose, 9 a.m. till 9 p.m., but only expecting to see a maximum of 4 people a day. So it's not like it would be a customer every hour on the hour, a maximum of 4 per day. The floor area of the dedicated business falls within the provision of the bylaw. It is secondary to the main use of the lot, which is a single-family dwelling. The parking requirements can be accommodated. 2 extra spaces are required. The applicants indicated that the parking area can accommodate 4 vehicles. In addition to that of the single-family home. A cover letter indicates the applicant is considering signage. A sign development permit would need to be requested and would need to follow the provisions of the sign bylaw, section 10. Notification letters were sent to property owners within 100 meters, and at the time of the writing of this, we received no concerns and 1 email of support. Staff have no concerns with the application at this time, and I'm available to answer any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Ms. Jodry? Yes. Yeah, you would have received the same package we did in the mail. Anything you'd like to add or discuss prior to members of PAC or members of the public asking you questions? Okay. All right, thank you. Any members of PAC have any questions for the applicant? Brenda?
Why 4? I mean,
Well, I just said.
what if I want my nails done? That'd be 5.
Oh, well, that'd be.
I'm just joking.
You're not allowed in today.
It's, that's one, I mean, if you're trying to make a business, that's kind of restrictive for you, like 4 people.
Feel like we should,
Yeah, yes. Understand. Yeah. Okay, now I understand. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you. Jennifer?
And just to add to that, Mr. Chair, there's nothing in the terms and conditions that focuses on the number of people that would be available. Now, the PAC may wish to put it into as 4, or we could leave it a little bit like it already is. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other members of PAC have any questions for the applicant? Brenda?
Just a quick one. They're talking about like a sign that's one of those standing signs.
The Cosmetology Association will accept that. We're just thinking something not permanent, so that we could just take it away, so.
I
it
mean, you'd
wouldn't-
have to, there's
Write
a
it in.
sign bylaw in the town. You
Okay.
have to see if
Right.
that's
Oh,
something.
okay.
I
So-
guess it's maybe printed on one side maybe or something. I don't, Jennifer, and then I'll have to help with this because we have our own bylaws
Right.
with signage.
So I did look on their form, and they say cosmetology establishments must display a sign containing the name and nature of the business during the hours of operation, subject to municipal regulations
Okay.
and bylaws. So I guess they've left it open to,
Okay.
it can meet whatever the bylaws are of the town.
Thank you. Jennifer, you want to add something there?
Yes, Mr. Chair, through you. I'm just looking at our sign bylaw right now, under the residential zone, and it does one sign identifying by name the property of residence, one sign of living, another use, which this would be, and limited to 0.4 square meters in area, and limited with a limit of 2 per property. So you would be able to have 2 small, 0. Exactly, there you go. So it sounds like this will work fine for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any further questions for the applicant? Is there anyone online or in the audience willing to speak for or against this item? Is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Third and final time, anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? None being, would a member of PAC like to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions, please? Mr. Hatfield.
Put a motion forward that the Planning Advisory Committee approve the discretionary use of the home occupation Handy Candy Designs under section 8A1BI and section 6K, both from zoning bylaw 38 at 56 Goodall Point Road, PID 302-35691, subject to the following terms and conditions. Number 1, it shall be a secondary to the main residential use of the dwelling. Number 2, no more than one person is engaged therein in addition to the permanent resident of the dwelling unit in which it is located. 3, it is confined to the dwelling unit and no part of it is located in an accessory building or structure. Number 4, no change except for the sign pursuant to the town's bylaws is made outside the appearance of the building which would indicate that a home occupation is being conducted therein. Any increase to the sign size beyond 1.1 square meters will be further approved by the Planning Advisory Committee. Number 5, no goods or service other than those directly pertaining to the home occupation are supplied or sold therein or therefrom. Number 6, no equipment or material used therein is stored other than in the dwelling unit. Number 7, no more than one commercial vehicle used in the connection therewith, or not more than one vehicle of any kind bearing a sign in connection therewith is parked on the lot. Number 8, there is to be no parking on the street or within the town property. And number 9, the PAC approved to operate this business is non-transferable. The approval is solely for the benefit of the property owner named herein. In the event the business is discontinued or the lands are transferred, the said approval shall be terminated. Oh, sorry. Okay, maybe it just came out that way, 526.
Thank you, Mark. Can I have a seconder on that? Thank you, Brenda.
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any debate on the motion? None. Can we have a vote on that, please? That motion's carried unanimously, 5 to 7 business days. Have a letter in the mail. Please work with the town to have all necessary documentation about that sign thing, just get that all figured out and organized, and best of luck. Okay, great. Thank you very much. You're welcome. Thank you. That being, we'll move on to 80 Millennium Drive. Could the applicant please come up to the podium? And state your name for the record, please.
My name is Kyle Maher.
Kyle Martin?
Kyle Maher, M-A-H-E-R.
Okay. We're going to have Jennifer introduce that item. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Before you is an application to operate a liquor licensed establishment, a KMR Race Room at 85. The lot is located in the Business Park Commercial Zone and has approximately 3 hectares of area. The existing business provides high-end racing simulators. There's 4 of them in total. And the customers can enjoy a racing experience. I think I might try it. The applicant is applying for a special liquor license so he can provide a small variety, 12 cans, to his patrons while they're partaking. Municipal plan under section 7.2 does identify liquor and gaming establishments as being permitted in all commercial zones, although it doesn't specifically say that it's permitted within the zoning bylaw. The municipal plan does supersede the zoning bylaw, therefore the authority for the PAC's decision is found under section 7.2.1. Section 3D1 of zoning bylaw states that the Planning Advisory Committee may permit, subject to such terms and conditions it considers fit, a proposed use of land for a building that is otherwise not permitted by the bylaw. The business focus is on the simulator experience, with the sales of alcohol being incidental to that main use. And as I said earlier, it's a small assortment, 12 canned beverages with no hard liquor or wine sales. Liquor licenses are regulated by the province and enforced by the province, and as such, the owner will be required to comply with those regulations under the Liquor Control Act. Section 6P2B1 of zoning bylaw requires one parking stall for every 8 square meters. The proposed use, it calculates out to a requirement of 12 parking spots. A look at the overall parking situation there identifies 144 parking stalls for all buildings. It's expected that the highest traffic for this business will be in the evenings when the other businesses are empty. So staff don't have any concerns that there will be with the parking arrangement. Notification was sent to landowners within 100 meters. No concerns have been received, and staff have no concerns with the application. I did want to point out also that a very similar application was approved by the PAC. It was a golfing simulator, and it as well was at 80 Millennium, and it was approved in 2024. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. Mr. Mahar, you have received the same package we did in the mail. Anything you'd like to add or discuss prior to members of PAC or the public asking you questions? No. Right, thank you. Any members of PAC have any questions for the applicant? Brenda?
You have 4 simulators. Are they come in teams to challenge each other, or just 4 used at the same time?
Everybody can race against each other.
Sorry, what?
Everybody will race against each other.
Oh, okay.
So each person will be on their own simulator, but in the simulation, they'll all be racing against each other.
Okay.
Yep.
So now it'd be interesting to see how their driving style changes after a beer,
Yeah, very much so.
or better. Is there a age limit there? Because my granddaughter just got her driver's license, and I could bring her there and teach her to drive like her mother does.
So yes, we do have an age requirement of 13 years of age or older.
It have to be how old?
You have to be 13 years of age or older.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
It seems to look good fun.
Thank you. Any further questions for the applicant? Anyone online or in the audience willing to speak for or against this item? Is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Third and final time. Anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? None being, would a member of PAC like to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions? Brent?
I'll make the motion, PAC approve the discretionary use of liquor license establishment for KMR Race Room at 80 Millennium Drive, Building Number 1, Unit 102, in accordance with Municipal Plan Bylaw 054, Section 721, and through its powers granted through Section 3D1 of Zoning Bylaw 038, subject to the following terms and conditions. 1, the applicant must apply to the province of New Brunswick's Justice and Public Safety Department for a liquor license and adhere to any and all terms and conditions established by the province of New Brunswick. 2, upon receipt of the aforementioned liquor license, a copy of which will be provided to the town of Quispamsis for their records.
Thank you, Brent. Can I have a seconder on that, please? Brenda?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Any debate on that motion? None being, can we have a vote, please? That's motion carried unanimously, 5 to 7 business days. Have a letter in the mail. Please work with the town to have all necessary paperwork and documentation passed on to them, and best of luck. Thank you. Thank you very much, guys. You're welcome. .355 Hampton Road. Could the applicant please come up to the podium and state your name for the record, please?
David McKenzie.
David McKenzie?
McKenzie.
McKenzie. Mr. McKenzie, we're going to have Jennifer's going to introduce that item for us. Go ahead, Jennifer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is a request from council for the written views of the PAC as they consider amendment to the development agreement, which is requesting to remove language that demands the removal of an existing accessory structure, a Kwanzaa hut, from the subject property prior to the sale of 355 Hampton Road. In 2008, a request to rezone the subject property from single and two family to neighborhood commercial was received to accommodate a sports shop. As such, a Section 39 development agreement was entered into as a result of the rezoning. In 2016, Mr. McKenzie purchased the property for Ascension elevating devices. And again, a development agreement amendment was required to allow the sale of that property to accommodate the new business. In 2021, Mr. McKenzie submitted an application to to further amend the development agreement, requesting an increase to staff numbers for administration staff and technical staff, and to provide a larger on-site storage for elevator parts. That's where the Kwanzaa hut comes into play. In the existing amended development agreement, the one from 2021, paragraph 2C states, if the owner sells the business being operated on the lands or sells the lands or any part thereof, any new owner shall be required to enter into new agreement with the town, and all accessory buildings are to be removed from the lands. The request that is before council is to remove that language, which requires removal of the buildings from the land. The existing amendment states any new owner shall be required to enter into a new agreement with the town. Staff recommend that a condition of approval this evening, if that is the committee's desire, be that the PIDs be placed on Service New Brunswick's Lands Gazette with this information so that any new owner is aware of that requirement to enter into a development agreement with the town prior to the purchase of the property, as long as the use is exceeding that of a single or two-family home. Excuse me. A variance was approved by the PAC in January 25, 2022 for a 0.18 meter height variance from Section 12F1A of zoning bylaw for the accessory structure. I was at council on October 7th when it was introduced to council. They were provided three options. Option one was to deny the request to further amend the development agreement and instruct the landowner to remove the Kwanzaa hut structure, including the sea-cans, concrete pad, from the subject lot within 60 days of the decision. Option two, approve the request to amend the development agreement and permit the existing structures to remain on the lot as in the existing condition. Or three, approve the request to amend the development agreement, permit the existing structure to remain on the subject lot with the condition that the exterior of the building is sided in a cladding approved by the National Building Code and a color scheme approved by the development officer or their designate. Council did agree to entertain the development agreement amendment and identified their preference as being the second option to allow the buildings to remain on site in the current condition. An accessory building, just to provide context to the committee, an accessory building under Section 15, which is the section for neighborhood commercial in the zoning bylaw, under Section 15A1B states an accessory building structure is a permitted use, incidental to the main or secondary use of the land, building, or structure, if such main or secondary use is permitted by this bylaw. As such, an accessory building is incidental to the main or secondary use is permitted and is subject to the provisions of Section 12F of the same bylaw, and those are that no accessory building can exceed the height of 5 meters. However, there's a variance for the small increase. It can be placed or altered so that it's closer to the street line in the front of than the rear of the main building, and within 1.5 meters of a side lot or rear lot line. And he's met all of those conditions. I am available to answer any questions the committee might have, and I'll turn it back to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Jennifer. Mr. McKenzie, you would receive the same package we did. Anything you'd like to add or discuss prior to members of the public or members of PAC asking you questions?
No, thank you.
Okay. Any members of PAC have any questions for the applicant? Brenda?
Not a question. I'm very familiar with this situation. He didn't come get a permit to build the building, and he was building without a permit. And when getting a letter from the town of Quispamsis to stop, he built faster and slapped a coat of paint on it. So trying to make it invisible. This is horrible. This is what is happening in the town of Quispamsis. And the vision of the town council to support that staying there is not the vision that I have for this town. And I will not support council in their decision for this.
Thank you, Brenda. Any other questions for the applicant from members of PAC?
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah, go ahead, Brent.
So just going back, because I was the person who actually made that motion in 2021. Yeah. And the reason the motion was made the way it was is because you were in the process of selling your business to a bigger company, which we understood that.
Correct, it was an asset sale,
Yeah.
and,
And at that time, you didn't know whether they were buying the property or just buying,
I'm not sure the exact dates, but, I wanted to do a
anyways.
share sale, they want to do an asset. Part of the negotiation was that I
Anyways, that's-
kept
that-
the property, but I'm not sure at what point that sort of,
Anyways, it's neither
Yeah.
here nor there.
yeah.
But one of the caveats that we put in that motion was, regardless of what happened, was that after you sold your business, whether the new company bought your property or you maintained the property, is you had 12 months to come back to council.
I
Yeah.
did come, I'm sorry, yeah, please finish. Yeah.
Yeah, so you can, not, again, we worked with you so that you wouldn't lose the sale of your business. And the requirement was for you to come back to council, either yourself or the new company, to enter a new development agreement. So that was in 2022. Here we are.
My company became inactive at that point.
Yeah,
So,
but you still own the property.
yes,
And the motion was.
I did come to the town and I spoke to the development officer and I said, what do you, how do you want to proceed? He said, well, let me look at it and I'll get back to you. And, and as it was, there was no change, there was no business being operated there. It was just, I didn't realize that I had to get into another agreement to do
Yeah, because
where
it
there was
says. that the
nothing
com-
going on, no.
Yeah, anyways, basically, it was you were to come back to council, back to PAC, and because the existing development agreement was just an interim to get you through the sale. So here we are 2.5 years later.
Yeah,
and now-
I don't know what you
and-
want me to say. When I sold my company, like, my office admin was taken, and I had.
Okay, so
They
my,
weren't even allowed to do anything with me. They took care of all this stuff for me, is I guess all I'm saying.
so the question is now, why are we back here again looking at the development agreement?
Because I finally selling the property to a young gentleman here who wants to run a business in town. And he's from town. And that if he can't keep the buildings, he's not gonna buy it. And, it's, I'm just trying to, get clear of the property because, when I sold my elevator company, I'm in court with them on a lot of money in the back end that they're in a breach on. So I'm selling stuff to pay my lawyers, basically. So, he's
Go
a
ahead,
good
Brent.
young guy, he's got a good young business there, and he's,
Okay, so my question is for Jennifer. So right now, the motion's in front of PAC. If we pass that, if the motion's passed as is, the property is only applicable for residential, correct? Even though it's zoned neighborhood commercial, right? So
I'm
we have to-
sorry, can you repeat the question?
Okay, so my understanding is if this goes through to, sorry, never mind, no, basically, you have to publish in the Royal Gazette,
If the use is gonna be larger than a single or two-family home. So if it's gonna be used for a commercial purpose, anything
That's what I'm asking.
greater than a single-family or two-family home, then it,
Even though it's already zoned neighborhood commercial.
neighborhood, but a single-family and two-family home are permitted use in neighborhood commercial.
Okay.
Has to come back.
I think he's aware of that. It's a small landscaping business, like, and I think he's sort of already talked to some people in the town, but he's aware he has to go and apply for permission to use the property for his purposes.
Brenda?
Mine is not a question per se, but my understanding of this, what they're looking for is for that building to stay on that lot so he can sell it. And I think that's the main thing. Just take that out of the development agreement, that he does not have to take that building down, which he was supposed to do within 12 months, 3 years ago. And he just
And I was
ignores
gone, I
everything.
was not working, ma'am. I mean, my business had been sold. They were operating my business out of there with me not, being gone.
It's the
So-
building. Shake your head all you want. You don't listen to rules, you don't obey authority. So I'm not
Pardon
supporting
me,
you.
Pardon me, really, really.
Yeah, it's enough.
That's good, okay. With that, any further questions for Mark?
To,
Yeah.
you, Mr. Chair, to Jennifer. Did the council already amend the bylaw, or they're just asking for us to support it?
As part of the development amendment process, it does go through the clerk's office. It is a function of the council. Through the Community Planning Act, however, it does request the committee's written views, and this is what we're here this evening to provide. The motion before you, which was proposed, is that the committee PAC support council. However, that's only recommendation.
Yeah, support or
You're
not support.
available. Exactly, it's either you're supporting or you're not supporting.
Exactly.
Thank you.
So just to follow up on that, is the decision already been made by council?
No, they would return back to council for a public hearing, which will be the next step, I believe, December 2nd is the date. I think it's December 2nd, I believe. Where the public hearing will be held, and they can consider doing the reading there, as it's an amendment to the development agreement, it only requires the one reading. If the committee does decide to not support the amendment, then council can still approve it, but they would have to have a majority of council, 2/3 majority, I believe, in order for it to pass.
Thank you, Jennifer. Any further questions? Anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Is there anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? Third and final time. Anyone in the audience or online willing to speak for or against this item? None being, would a member of PAC like to put a motion for or against with terms and conditions? Brent?
I'll make the motion. PAC does not support council amending section 59 development agreement for 355 Hampton Road PID 0250787 and 3022054, subject to the following terms and conditions. 1, Quonset hut and sea cans removed. And 2, that the subject lots be placed on the Service New Brunswick Land Gazette, advising that any landowner will be required to enter into a new development agreement with the town for any use in excess of a single or two-family dwelling. Do not support.
Do not support, and that, what was that in one? That has to be removed, right?
The Quonset hut and the two sea cans have to be removed.
Okay. Have a seconder on that, please? Yeah. Brenda?
I'll second that.
Thank you. Can we have a vote on that, please? To catch up, you okay? So the motion is not supported. It's on the table. That motion's been carried to not support that, Mr. McKenzie, so that'll have to go to council. We'll make that final decision on that on next, December 5th.
Okay, can you?
Council has,
You want those?
the PAC wants that, what we recommend is not supporting leaving the buildings on the lot as there is, as they're supposed to be removed. Council has the authority to go, yep,
No, I understand, no. They're not unsightly, can't even see them. Is there an actual?
no, it's not punishment, it's part of the bylaw and the agreements that were previously agreed to and signed.
Yeah, I spoke to.
Should have got it in writing.
Well, I didn't think they did.
We're trying, we're trying to follow policy and procedure.
Punish someone
No,
jammed up.
no punishment.
Look, okay, but, is the reason.
Didn't follow policy. That's right.
It's not a law. Policy.
It's a building, it's a bylaws of the town of Quispamsis. No, we're not saying that.
I'm sorry.
Council can,
Somebody that's
council can overrule it.
after, yeah,
But you didn't follow procedure.
and oh, I didn't.
No.
I forgot to do something.
No,
Like,
okay,
that to me.
That's not it at all.
okay, so Mr. McKenzie?
I guess I am, because I don't see expense that this is gonna cost me to get away. I don't understand why any. So, I will thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And, I guess we'll see how it goes, because I've got lawyers and,
Jennifer, you want to add something? No?
oh, by the way, Jeff, thank you.
Thank you. Move on to item 8. Can I have a motion to receive and file the information items and discussion items, please? Brenda,
I'll make that motion.
can I have a seconder on that? Second. Thanks, Mark. Can we have a vote on that, please? That motion's carried unanimously. That being, can I have a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Brent, thank you. Seconder on that? I'll do that. Brenda, thank you. Meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.